Hello one and all, it's maybe Dr. Stone, chapter 159, Lock On, and I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Last chapter I kept saying, oh, Dr. X is going to realize Senku. He tried to stop Stanley. He's going to try and make amends, try to negotiate with him, try to find a way where they can work together to establish the kingdom of science they both dreamed of. Or at the very least, they'd agree to peaceful terms, like a peaceful war against one another, like capture the leader basically type of thing. Whoever wins becomes, the new master of the combined kingdom of sciences. Nope, he shot him. He absolutely freaking shot him. Wow. I mean, I do like that he hesitates. He pauses when Stanley asks him, are you sure? Do you really, truly want me to kill him? I mean, he was so freaking excited last chapter we found out, oh my god, Senku's alive, this is great! But as he's thinking about it, he comes to realize that Senku isn't like him. That was very obvious in emails they exchanged back and forth. Senku is, at his heart, humanitarian. It might sound weird, but he will always fight for the people, always try to give them the best lives they can live, always try to help them whatever way he can. Sure, he'll laugh off afterwards saying, oh, I just did it so I can get this, or oh, I just did that so they can work better. But no, he really is determined to protect the people, to work for them. And Zeno is determined to rule the people with an iron fist of cruelty. So after he takes a moment and considers this, without a single drop of doubt in his eyes, he gives the order, yes, do it. God, he looks like a monster. He truly, truly looks like a monster here. And so that just leaves the question, is Luna a doctor? That seems very, very, very unlikely given literally everything we've seen about her. She can't seem to focus on anything more than 2 seconds. And given she just doesn't seem all that smart. But I said many times over, she needs a role here. She needs a job. She needs something to do. And being a trained physician, trained nurse, trained something involved in the medical field would certainly fill that role, would certainly give her something to do. I mean, I really don't think she'd be a big fan of Stanley shooting the man she's in love with. She thought it was Dr. Taiju, not the Senku person that she actually developed feelings for. So I could certainly see her changing sides and joining up with Senku or giving him a helping hand, giving him major surgery. Maybe that's even why Carlos and Max are so loyal to her. Maybe she saved their lives at one point. I mean, it seems unlikely. It seems very, very unlikely. Like I said, Luna needs something to do. And if she's the, team medic, that certainly give her a reason to keep traveling with Senku and the rest of them. Though I do think it'd be a little weird if Stanley sent their doctor into enemy territory to be essentially a sniper target. That seems like a very poor use of a person's skills right there. I mean, speaking of which, how exactly are they planning on, getting Luna out of here? I mean, it's very, very obvious to Ryu that she was the spy who was, sent to find the scientist and point him out to the sniper. I mean, she straight up looked in the direction of the sniper for this whole encounter. So that, that really screams, I'm the spy. Even Stanley was a little irked by that. So I realized he could use that to pinpoint the actual scientist on board. I mean, the one person in panic and run around crazy, the person who's focused on, finding the actual threat, finding the actual danger. That all being said, though, someone did point out to me online that in Volume 7 of the manga, it was shown that Francois does in fact have some basic levels of medical training, and she was right next to Senku when he got shot, so that's a very good sign right there, immediate medical attention. She could definitely, remove the shrapnel, and then Yuzu can show up to stitch up the wounds like she did for Tsukasa. I mean, maybe, but even then, I feel like, if the shrapnel pierced any of his organs, caused any, real damage, that could be a huge issue and require actual medical knowledge from an actual doctor to fix, not just whatever minimal training Francois has. Seriously though, Senku, why do you not have a doctor on your team? You set forth on a 4-month boat journey, you didn't think to wake up a doctor? You excavated an entire freaking hospital to find Tsukasa's sister. I am sure there were doctors there. I'm sure if you woken up a few people, they could have pointed you to the doctor, who has enough training to, stitch up basic wounds and injuries like this. I don't know, maybe Francois has more medical training than I think, and she's actually like a qualified EMT and can perform the surgery Senku needs. But even if that was the case, I still feel like a doctor would be very useful to have on the ship just in general. Or, back over at your Kingdom of Science in case someone gets sick or gets injured. I mean, Senku, yes, does have some basic knowledge and understanding of medicine and whatnot, but once again, he is not a doctor, and you really need a doctor here. Anyway, so the whole bullet scene was absolutely freaking amazing. The shot of it exploding out of the barrel was freaking beautiful. And then Senku, good old Senku, he used the kudzu power that they used to make the ice cream as a bulletproof vest. Oh, I love this series so much. Every time they make something, it seems useless. It seems pointless. It seems like, oh, it was just for laughs. Nope, it comes back. No, they end up using it to save their lives somehow, some way. And for Senku, it was literally using ice cream powder to make a bulletproof freaking vest. It was absolutely freaking amazing. I love how the author plans these things out, and I just love how Senku thought so quickly on his feet like that. I did actually have someone online say, though, that cornstarch and water doesn't really slow down a bullet by all that much, but I think it would definitely help. Plus, there's the fact, the bullet traveled for hundreds and hundreds of feet. It definitely would slow down by the time it hit the ship, and, then there's the fact it actually hit the ship. It broke through. It shattered on impact. Love the fact that it shattered like that. It's so cool. And then hit Senku's improvised bulletproof vest as he's sweating and panicking as it's coming towards him. So it definitely slowed things down enough where it didn't seem to, go all the way through him. It's very unclear exactly how much he was pierced by the bullets. I think that was on purpose to make us panic and theorize and speculate, especially since the next chapter is for another 2 freaking weeks. God dang it! But yeah, this definitely gave Senku the best chance possible to survive being hit like this. I just absolutely freaking love just how he showed the shrapnel impact. At first I thought, oh, did Stanley fire 5 shots? No, that was just 1 bullet that literally exploded when it hit the ship. That's so freaking cool and I love it. Anyway, so now Senku needs to have that shrapnel removed, either by Francois or Luna, then the wounds sewn up. That's going to be a very painful experience for him. Hopefully they managed to create some sort of painkiller since they did Tsukasa surgery. I still remember Senku saying, oh, don't worry. The strongest high school primate doesn't need a painkiller. Right, old buddy, old friend of mine? Oh, that was terrifying. I absolutely loved it. I do think this gives Senku a good opportunity. They can either pretend he's dead, lead Dr. X to a false sense of security, thinking, alright, I'm okay, I'm safe now. And then Senku, a few chapters later, bust out like, haha, I'm still alive, and I managed to defeat you. Or they can go in the complete opposite direction, and have Senku immediately call up Dr. X like 20 minutes after this. He's still severely injured, but he can lie his way through it and say, haha, you really thought that'd be enough to kill me? Thankfully, I had the petrification device. Petrification device? What's that? They said last chapter they were going to use that as a bargaining tool, as a threat against Dr. X to make him think, oh, this guy is this really powerful thing. I can't attack him because then he can use it against me to petrify my whole kingdom of science. If Senku managed to survive this, he can certainly bluff his way into making it seem like the petrification device is still operational. It's still working. I mean, he used that to save his own life, and he can use it as a weapon against Dr. X. That could definitely be interesting. Also, I really, really have to wonder, why is Dr. X recording all his transmissions? I mean, there are literally dozens and dozens of these. What is the point of recording your transmissions? Are you saving this for the future? I mean, why? What's the purpose of any of this? I'm very, very confused about why he's doing that, but alright, it makes sense, I guess. And then he uses it to actually figure out Senku's exact, or mostly exact heights, weights, body type, all that. I mean, I feel like he could have just said, oh, he's the guy with white hair with green streaks on the end of it. I mean, I guess that doesn't really fit because one of the guys was bald, the other one kind of had white hair, so maybe that wouldn't have narrowed down too much. But he actually, he's met Senku. He could fairly accurately describe him. And he's able to tell that he's 19, I guess, from his voice, so he doesn't think Senku woke up like 10, 20 years ago, and he's an old man by now. He's well aware of Senku's age, and he hasn't aged all that much from last time he saw him, so I feel like he could give a better, description to Stanley. I mean, even with that, Stanley's only able to narrow it down to 3 people. Just weird, very, very weird. Also do love this weird X shape he makes with his fingers as he's thinking. That's his thinking pose. Senku is his. This is Dr. X's. I like that. It's really cool. Right, so yeah, like I said, next chapter gonna be very, very interesting. Senku needs to have his wounds treated by somebody. I think they pretend he's dead or use it as a bargaining chip to make it seem like he has the ultimate power. The power to literally petrify the entire freaking planet. Luna, she's in a bit of trouble. Like I said, I don't think she's going to be on board for Stanley's whole murder Senku thing, so I could definitely see her changing sides, helping Senku some way, somehow. Maybe with medical training, maybe with something else, but really, what's Stanley's plan to get Luna safely off the ship, now that everyone knows that she's a spy? I mean, I kind of feel like, now that they've lost their leader, they make it so angry they could execute her. At least that's what Stanley might be thinking right now. So, yeah, that definitely seems like a poor judgment on your end, just saying. Do you actually care if Luna lives or dies? I mean, it definitely does seem to make it less likely that she has medical training, because then, Stanley wouldn't be so willing to risk her life just to eliminate the targets. I don't know, definitely weird. I'm sure Carlos and Max can be very angry about all this. Heck, they may even end up switching sides, trying to join Senku's team, simply because they want to be with Luna again. That'd be absolutely freaking hilarious, and I'd love to see that. Then we still have Jen. I mean, let's not forget, Jen is still with Dr. X. And it's a very interesting conversation, where Dr. X walks in and Jen says, "Hey, Jen, I know you're lying to me. I know that, Senku was the real scientist because he was my former student, and I just had Stanley murder him." Oh, that's gonna be a very, very interesting reaction from Jen right there. I can even see Dr. X ending that conversation saying something along the lines of, "I know how you feel. He was my friend as well," or something like that. I mean, it seems odd after Dr. X killed him, but I don't know. I mean, he seemed so overwhelmingly happy when he figured out that Senku was still alive. Now that he's killed him, I mean, I'm sure he seemed absolutely in his decision when he made it, but is he gonna feel bad about doing this? Is he gonna regret it moving forward? I'm not sure. I'm definitely gonna give us some more insight into Dr. X if there's any possibility that Senku can still work with him moving forward. I don't know, maybe it's gonna be like, he's working from prison. Like, Senku keeps him in a prison cell, nice prison cell, but, locked room, and they just discuss back and forth science whenever Senku gets stuck on something. I mean, they kept Hyoga in a cage for quite a while. I'm sure they can figure out something for Dr. X that's a little better than that. And then, who knows, maybe down the road they'll find a way to redeem him, find a way to have him join the team outright, like Hyoga did. Seriously, Hyoga joining Senku's team is still one of my favorite moments of the entire freaking series. Oh, I love that. So, maybe the same can happen with Dr. X, but please, let me all this down below. What's Luna's role moving forward? Is she a doctor? Is she going to try and help Senku? Are they going to not trust her? Are they going to take her hostage? What exactly are their plans for Luna? What exactly are Stanley's plans for saving Luna? I mean, they shot at Senku. I kind of doubt they're just going to say, "Join us now and we'll let the rest of you live." I kind of feel like now Stanley's just going to leave and give him like a day or two and then and then come back in a day or two and give them the ultimatum. Join us or die. You don't have your science leader, so there's nothing you can do anymore. Not sure. Really, really not sure. Like I said, there's still Jen. No idea what's going to happen with him. And Tsukasa' team are still, going into the woods after Dr. X trying to take over the Kingdom of Science themselves. Are they going to think that Senku is really dead? It'd definitely be an interesting moment to, give a secret message to them. And maybe they could make reference to the time that Tsukasa killed Senku and then, faked his own death. And that could tell them, okay, Senku's still alive, he faked his death, and we need to pretend like we're really sad and upset so that we can catch the enemy off guard. That'd be really cool. I'd really like to see that, actually. So yeah, very, very intense chapter. I mean, seriously, the whole thing took place maybe over the course of 30 seconds. But just so much happened, and it was insane. But let me think all this down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to the next video, which sadly won't be for another 2 weeks. Oh well, but until then,